Welcome to Counterculture Wise, a Stormcap production. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the hosts, our guests, and the dog, and do not necessarily reflect the views of any of our platforms, our advertisers, or any other dog.
As you listen today, please remember, we are so much more than a podcast. All of our stories we discuss are linked in our show notes on counterculturewise.com. Visit there for commentary, guest photos and links, animations, and fun merchandise.
If you have a story idea or would like to be a guest on our show, contact us via our website. You can also follow us on Twitter, Gab, Instagram, Facebook, and all over social media, where we'll post memes, cat pics, and commentary that gets us booted off on a regular basis.
If you're listening live, be sure to join our chat on Spreaker. If you're listening dead, please stop voting Democrat, but enjoy the show anyway. And with the meows of the Mackie Meow, we begin another Counterculture-wise, not so very live, but golly gee willikers, we're working on it show. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. Melanie Hope. And here with me in the room, eating his nanner chips like a good little doggy, we'll talk about that later.
Hey now.
Is my host, my co-host, my best friend, my husband, and my sweet baboo, Mr. James Monis!
Hi. How you doing?
I am underwhelmed. Where are the crickets when you need them? Wowzers. Okay, guys. Wee! That was a fun introduction. No dad joke, no comment, nothing.
Oh,
Tra-la-la.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking about our disagreement earlier. Melanie's really mad at the fact that I have no sense of direction, so I packed up my stuff and write.
That sounds about correct.
That sounds about left.
That sounds about correct.
Oh boy! All right, here we are.
I am constantly having to say, in this direction where my finger is pointing, please, for all that is holy, look at my finger. Everybody at the church today was laughing at you because you're like derp-de-dur, looking everywhere except where I'm pointing. And like literally an entire room full of people are looking at my finger and looking at where I'm pointing, and you are not.
Well, there was. I was looking for something. She said it's next to the coffee maker. There's two coffee makers, so
okay,
I went
next to the coffee maker, and I pointed with my finger at the coffee maker, and everybody else was like,
well.
Why is he over there?
Well, it's settled. We're going to a new church.
We have to go to a different.
No, I'm kidding.
If we leave a church every time you do something stupid, we'll never get to go to the same church twice.
I'm fine with that.
We're gonna have to keep.
No, I'm kidding to my friends at the church that we went to this morning. Not gonna. We're sticking with you guys.
It was a good message today because it was a not so gentle reminder of how we so easily become part of the world.
It's real quick.
Yeah.
And he actually used an example from the world to
a really powerful and personal one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to hand it to him. He's not a great storyteller. He's not like super dynamic hopping around, but the dude will just lay it out there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to hand it to him. He is crazy honest and really, really willing to be out there. I mean, I don't even know how to say it. I mean, he told us some stuff that I was like, oh, I kind of wish I didn't know that. And yet it really, it drove the
point home, and he was willing to make himself about as vulnerable as somebody can be.
Yeah. Speaking of being vulnerable, hey folks, drop everything.
Ow.
Every time, Monis, you need to wear a helmet or something. And if you're listening, well, you're not listening live, so if you're listening, period, Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe, spread the news. We will be live next
Soon.
week. God willing and the creek don't rise. We got our Starlink equipment. We just don't know how to get it up on the roof.
Send Mr. Shaky Jake.
Send help! Send help! And we have some amazing interviews coming up. We have
that we do. Sure.
a whole lot of things to share with you, and we really want to be back live. So, pray for all that's holy. And hey, support us. Head on over to counterculturewise.com. Send us some help so we can pay for all this stuff that we're having to pay for, and get installation for all the stuff we need to install for, and hopefully be back up and live really soon.
I'm no longer making a promise about it'll be this day. I'm done. We'll just
like
see what happens.
We got the equipment. We just don't have a ladder or anybody who can climb a ladder or any way of getting it actually up there. So, yeah,
we need
send
a
help.
ladder.
Send help.
I'll get up there if I get a ladder, but I got to get a ladder.
I hate sending them up there, too. I really do.
I hate going up there.
Yeah, I mean, the dude is, pushing 60 and not just lightly, gently pushing it, but pushing it
Shoving
really, really hard.
With everything I've got.
And you shouldn't be sending 60-year-olds on the roof any more than you should be sending 90-year-olds to the White House. I'm just saying. Anywho.
Speaking of which,
we still don't have our TDS of the week stinger, so let's just head on into it. Well, I guess he's not a TDSer so much because Mr. DeSantis did actually drop out of the race before New Hampshire and has actually endorsed Trump.
Which kind of was inevitable. Mm-hmm. It was inevitable.
And now they're pretending like Nikki's a thing. She's not a thing. She's not.
Anyhow,
but Trump was actually asked at one of his rallies if he's going to continue to call him DeSanctimonious, and he said that term is officially retired, which I'm glad of because I always thought it was dumb. Frankly, he could have come up with
not his best. I like low energy Jeb.
I like Rhonda Sand Tits. That was my favorite.
Oh my. Oh my!
That was my favorite, but
I never even heard that one before.
Yeah. Well,
I think that Mr. DeSantis is doing a fine job.
No,
as
I think he's a
Florida.
fantastic governor, and I think he will make a good president. I just don't think it was his turn.
Well, we'll see what happens.
And I'm sad to see Vivek drop out. He's a firebrand. I don't think we've heard the last of him.
Definitely not. I'm predicting. If he doesn't become VP, I think he might very well become press secretary, which would thrill me to no end because I've seen him verbally shoot down so many journalists who are trying to push an agenda.
It would take I don't know Trump well enough to, I don't buy all the stuff that they say about his ego and blah, blah, blah. But to have two alpha males in that spot, that's never really happened before. You usually have the guy, and then you have, the guy that's kind of or in this case, just a diversity hire that's just a figurehead. Chuck will talk a little bit about her later, too. But having those two alpha male powerhouses, I think Vivek could get a lot done. Mm-hmm. But Trump would have to delegate. And I don't know, based on what I've seen so far, how good of a delegator he is, because he's not good at hiring.
No.
And I hope he's fixed that, because the last thing we need is another angry walrus.
I don't need no more swamp rats. That's not going to work.
Luke Wadowski posted a dream team of who he'd like to see in all the cabinet, and I'll have to find that, but I agree with him 100% on every stinking one of them. It's really good.
Okay.
And I think he had Vivek as vice. Mm-hmm. But he had some really good people. Now, the other person that's been coming up quite a bit, of course, is Tucker Carlson. Mm-hmm. I don't think he wants the job.
Tucker is enjoying his life right now.
But I also think Tucker would be a good press secretary as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he should.
But he'd probably have to take a pay decrease. That's the thing. Both of them.
I mean,
Trump took a huge pay decrease. In fact, he didn't even take any pay.
His show on Tucker's show on X has proven so big and so popular that Tulsi Gabbard is launching a show.
Good for her.
Don Lemon is doing a show on X.
Not good for him.
Well, I'm just saying people,
He's such
a lot of
bitter racist. Well, actually, he might not be now that he's away from CNN where they make you be that way.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see what his real opinions are.
Yeah. Well, it would be interesting because he has flipped on a couple of issues in the past. So.
Well, I mean, he used to talk about how black men should take responsibility and not sag their pants and this and that, and then he went full race tard with the whole white supremacy nonsense.
I think you might be right, though. You might be onto something about it having something to do with CNN's extreme hard left stance on the vast majority of issues. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm willing to.
I don't understand how you could sell your soul for that, to just say things that you don't even mean.
It's called making tons of money. He was making money hand over fist. That's.
Yeah, but to what end? To what end?
What end does he need? Is his bank
see him
account.
as a
That's
buffoon.
Yeah, he was horrible at it for a lot of it. Anyway, we'll see what happens.
So I do wish all the best to Mr. DeSantis. Again, amazing governor. He's still young enough. He would make a good president. He doesn't have the overt personality that Trump and Vivek have, but I think he would be good at what he does. He's been good at taking the slings and arrows, and he needs to get rid of whoever it was that was in charge of his campaign, because he did not hire well. They did not do him any favors.
No, they didn't.
So hopefully he's learned a lot, and hopefully he will help Trump, and those guys will kiss and make up, get the Florida men working together again, and get back out there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I think that he did the right thing.
I was actually hoping that he would stay in long enough for Nikki to just not be a thing at all, because she ain't going to give up. I mean, she's got way too much Democrat support.
Yeah. Well, there's also moderate Republicans who dig her, and rhinos who like her, and all that kind of stuff.
I don't get it. I would take Tulsi over her any day. And she sadly, as a former Democrat, she's less Democrat than Nikki is. So.
I don't want to keep calling her.
Well, plus Nikki, she's not even a flip-flopper. I never said that. Here's a video of you saying that. Oh, I never said that. Well, here's a video of you saying that.
Yeah, it's comical. It's absolutely comical. Anyway, good luck, Nikki. Whatever.
Yeah.
Good luck, Miss Haley. We'll see what happens.
All right. So Alec Baldwin never had to actually face the music for.
They had to they had new information, and so now, they've already
new information like how a revolver works.
That is actually part of it, I think.
No, for God's sake.
But he is.
I mean, I've fired multiple revolvers in my day. They are not easy to fire.
No, it's not nice and smooth like a 9.
It's not like you're going to drop it and it's going to go off. That's not how that works. And you have to force. I mean, there's three notches, I guess, for lack of a better term. You have to want to be in the position to fire the gun, and to point even a blank at somebody's head. I mean, did we not learn anything from? It wasn't River Phoenix. It was the other one.
Well,
the other Phoenix brother that got smacked. Or wasn't it Bruce Lee that got killed that way? Being hit with a blank.
Yeah, it was, I think he. Brandon Lee, not Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee.
Brandon. Okay,
Bruce Lee was something different.
I know the Phoenixes are messed up and the Lees were messed up. So yeah, it was Brandon Lee. Who
anyway,
sadly
not to get too far off the subject. That kid had a career.
But all I'm saying is, even if you thought it was a blank, you still don't point it at somebody, you idiot. You imbecile. You smug, smarmy... I'll let you talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to start swearing.
What is this about being judgmental?
I'm going to start swearing.
Over there. You. Prosecutors charged Alec Baldwin again with involuntary manslaughter after he was indicted by a grand jury Friday in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust in 2021.
Involuntary? It was totally voluntary.
You were quiet for an entire 20 seconds. I have to applaud you. That was a record. That was like the longest that you've gone. I was saying I'm not going to say anything.
Go sit on a tack, Monis.
The look she's giving me. Precious. Hutchins was shot and killed on the Rust set during the rehearsal of a scene after a gun Baldwin was holding discharged.
Oh, Baldwin I love how they blame it on the weapon. Oh, it just magically went off in his hand.
Baldwin was charged with... And this is how you draw a show out to 2 hours, folks.
I hate the passive language. It's just so...
Well, because
mistakes were made. Oh, bite me, doughboy.
Well, the thing is, okay, I think the reason they're doing this, I'm not trying to get into a journalist head because I have less brains than I do now. But it's possible that they're simply putting it that way because he has not been convicted of anything. He is, in fact, indicted. So we'll have to see what happened. Now, I know, and you know, that you need to apply a substantial amount of pressure on the trigger of most
after
revolvers.
You've fully cocked the blessed thing so that you even can.
So, anyway... Hutchins was shot and killed on the Rust set during the rehearsal of a scene after a gun Baldwin was holding discharged. Baldwin was charged with involuntary manslaughter, negligent use of a firearm, or, in the alternative, involuntary manslaughter without due caution or circumspection.
Why do you need to be circumcised to pull a gun?
I don't know. I think the ADL should get on this.
Yeah.
We look forward to our day in court, Baldwin's lawyers, Alex Spiro and Luke Nikas, told News Digital Friday. Fox News.
A weird comment.
Our clients
you
have always...
murdered somebody and you look forward to your date. What a weird, disgusting comment.
Well, it's not so weird. It's like when you are so self-righteous, you're going to hire lawyers to go, we look forward to proving his innocence and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's sad. Alec Baldwin is such a great actor.
Meh.
Oh, well. Fox News Digital has reached out to prosecutors for further comment. Our clients have always sought the truth about what happened on the day that Helena Hutchins was tragically shot and killed on October 21st, 2021. The Hutchins family lawyer, Gloria Allred.
It's on
Gloria
video.
Allred.
It's on film.
Great.
Who's Gloria Allred?
She was the attorney for multiple accusers of Bill Cosby. She ain't messing around. You have her, you're dead. Just, Alec, give up, dude. Go home.
Nah, he's a Democrat. He doesn't have to.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. They continue to, told Fox News, they continue to seek the truth in our civil lawsuit for them, and they would also like there to be accountability in the criminal justice system. In the criminal justice system.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom. The grand jury has decided there is sufficient evidence to indict Alec Baldwin on the charge of involuntary manslaughter, the statement continued. We are looking forward to the criminal trial, which will determine if he should be convicted for the untimely death of Helena, who is the daughter of our clients Olga Solovey and Anatoly Androsov. Come on, people with the names.
I don't understand.
The sister of Svetlana Zemko and the co-worker of our client, Marnie Mitchell.
Okay, I don't understand. She was young. She was way too young. Why do they use the term untimely death? Have you ever heard of somebody dying? You're like, no, that was timely. It is about time.
Adolf, maybe?
Nah. I guess when Klaus Schwab kicks the bucket or George Soros, I'll be like, yeah, that was a little bit late. Yeah, you never hear of somebody tragically dying and going, that was about the right time. That was timely.
This next line is the dumbest line in the whole article.
Oh, no.
Baldwin's wife, Hilaria, was spotted exiting their New York City apartment alone hours after the new indictment was announced.
Who cares?
Who cares? What difference does it make?
And her name's Hillary. She's not Hispanic. It's fake. She's a white broad. Everybody knows it. Hilaria. It's hilarious that she tries to get away with it.
Baldwin was originally charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter January 31st of 2023. And the charges were later dropped in April. At the time, the prosecution claimed new facts had been revealed.
Considering that
this is important.
January 21st, he couldn't have been charged this year, so yeah.
I know, but
Okay.
it says January 31st. I just want to be clear.
All right.
This is important. At the time, the prosecution claimed new facts had been revealed that require further investigation. In their motion to dismiss, the special prosecutors noted the inquiry and forensic analysis required could be completed before the start of Baldwin's scheduled preliminary hearing. Special prosecutors revealed they would ask a grand jury to decide if Baldwin should face criminal charges for a second time in October, nearly 2 years after Hutchins' death. After extensive investigation over the last several months, additional facts have come to light that we believe show Mr. Baldwin has criminal culpability in the death of Helena Hutchins and in the shooting of Joel Souza.
Surprise.
Special prosecutors Carl Morrissey and Jason Lewis said in a statement last month, "We believe the appropriate course of action is to permit a panel of New Mexico citizens to determine from here whether Mr. Baldwin should be held over for a criminal trial." Baldwin has maintained that he did not pull the trigger of the gun on October 21st.
Oh, my fuzzy white behind.
The trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger, Baldwin told George
Then how did
Stephanopoulos.
the gun go boom, boom? That's how guns work, dumbass.
That's why Stephanopoulos is on ABC and you're on CCW. And why he's interviewing somebody on ABC and not on CCW.
Well,
However,
we have Max for that.
No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull the trigger. Never.
My fuzzy white.
Yes, it is. And folks, it is fuzzy. I will.
It is not, you liar.
But you just said my fuzzy white.
I know, it's just a. It is not. Take that back.
Under point of penalty and of perjury, I withdraw the fuzzy butt statement. The only one with a fuzzy button here
It's Fritzina.
is Fritzina Fluffy Butt. Anyway. However, the FBI conducted an accidental discharge test and determined the gun used in the fatal shooting of Hutchins could not be made to fire without a pull of the trigger, ABC News reported.
Color me surprised!
The FBI, despite their being run by left-wing yahoos,
and incompetent.
at least they know guns, right?
Well, some of them.
All right.
The non-diversity hires.
During the legal back and forth, new footage obtained by NBC News emerged showing Baldwin firing a prop gun on the film set. Baldwin can be heard telling crew members to move out of the path of the gun in the video, obtained and published November 16th by NBC News. The footage was reportedly taken some time before Hutchins was fatally shot on October 21st, 2021. Now, wait a second. I'm going to shoot right, Baldwin said. Do you mind going on the other side of the camera? I don't want to shoot toward you.
Duh!
At another point, Baldwin seems concerned for the safety of whoever is behind the camera, saying, I don't know why you're going up hills and all this other. You're going to break your neck. Later in the clip, a woman can be heard saying, everyone doesn't need to be right here in the path of the gun. Could you please move?
So they were aware. And he was aware. Because again, even if you pick up a revolver and pull on the trigger as hard as you can, if it's not cocked, ain't nothing going to happen.
Unless your gun is modified to do that.
But you can't modify a revolver to do that. Okay, we're talking about a revolver. We're not...
Yeah. Anyway, he's not out of the woods by a long shot.
I would be really curious, though, who loaded a live round in there.
Yeah, that did not belong there.
Nobody's talking about that.
The armorer, also known as Hot Bathroom Selfie Chick, is scheduled to go into, I think it was today or tomorrow, actually. She's scheduled to go to court over this.
Yeah, the little girl who didn't know what the heck she was doing. That's just so sad. That's just so sad. So sad.
I mean, it doesn't matter. She's down for the count.
Her life is done.
Her career's over. You know, it doesn't matter what happens. She's going to be the one who takes the blame for it, even if whether it's her fault or not.
Yeah, you don't play with weapons. And there was no reason to have live rounds within a 30-mile radius of the set.
Well,
at all, ever.
In fact, with all the computers and CGI, you don't need real guns at all.
Not anymore, no. No.
Not at all. You don't, I mean, you can have prop guns and they will look and sound like the real thing with all of the technology we have. There's absolutely no need to have genuine firearms on a set.
Or even if you did, there's no need to have live rounds anywhere near.
Live ammo did not belong there.
No.
At all. And
I can't even conceive of a single reason.
And as one of the executive producers, Alec Baldwin is responsible to some extent anyway.
Absolutely.
So, and he had to reduce the price of the house he's selling in the Hamptons.
Aww, poor widow Baldwin.
Poor little
Aww.
Alec. Poor widow Baldwin. You sense a bias, and yes, some of it is professional jealousy. I mean, it'd be very nice to have had some of the roles he had, but I'll stick to having one line in a show in Waco.
Aww.
Garbage.
Oh.
Garbage. I'm going to eventually wind up going back to Vegas for that kind of work while maintaining a residence here. We'll see what happens.
Just, need you to contribute enough money to Counterculture Voice. So
yes, if you could do that,
afford
please.
A private jet.
Drop everything.
I'm not going to play that again.
Please don't.
It always lands on your head every time.
Sometimes my feet don't need me help.
I mean, you got a little bit more cushion now that you're growing your hair back, but...
I don't want my hair back.
Wait, what?
I got
For
lazy.
the last 5 years, you've been like, I want my hair back, and now...
But I like the way I look with no hair, and now I grew the hair back because it just ran out of time, money, gumption, whatever, and now the hair's back, and I just look at it and go, meh.
Yeah, you're past the 4, 5, 6, 7,
yeah,
8 head.
I've got a 9 head, and I'm just done.
Like, well,
I'd
say
golfing
8 head
because
that's more, 8 volley. I just want to shake your face and see what comes out of your mouth. Results hazy. Try again later. That seems to be your go-to.
This is what I married, folks.
On purpose, even.
14 years ago today is the day we met.
Yeah, that's when we met.
Yeah.
And we've told that story here on our show.
Yeah, so we won't do it again. But
no. You can go back into our archives and learn how we met.
But we made a go of it, and for some reason it worked.
And here we are. Haven't killed each other yet.
Yet.
Next year's going to be a big one. 15 years.
Yeah, 15 years. We'll do something truly celebratory. We went to our favorite Chinese restaurant in town.
Yeah. Had a very interesting dish. It was a pineapple fried rice, which neither one of us should have eaten. But they threw everything, including the chicken sink.
You said the chicken sink.
Did I say the chicken sink?
You said
I did.
the chicken sink.
Because I had chicken, and then, the kitchen. Kill me. The kitchen sink. Yeah, the chicken sink. Whatever. It comes
They
see,
probably
comes off.
washed the chicken in the sink. I mean,
yeah. But there was a chicken and there was a sink. Okay, so there was chicken, there was shrimp, there was pork.
It was delectable.
And then there was hot dogs, which I'm not really sure I understand. But then you had all the other stuff with the carrots.
I don't know if they were genuine hot dogs, like pork sausage of some sort, but it's very hot dog-like.
It wasn't sausage; it was hot dogs. Yeah, I think that was their answer to Spam.
I think hot dogs were a thing today because I
you
ate
had a
kolache today,
yeah.
and it had a hot dog in it rather than
like
sausage,
a mini weenie, yeah,
cheese-like.
But it was actually served in a pineapple half with pineapple in it, and it was quite delectable.
It was very good.
Yeah,
I would have it again.
Me too.
Next time I want to cheat on my diet.
Oh, yeah. Next time we have a diet to cheat on. That'll happen.
I got to get back on it.
Yeah.
I wanted to
I make you good food. And then I get in the car, there's all these wrappers and stuff from...
They're next to the cups from Wendy's and Burger King. Don't give me that.
I don't eat at Burger King. And when I do go to Wendy's, I get an unsweetened iced tea with lemon.
Okay.
Nope, I got the receipts, boo, if you want to see them.
It's okay.
Because you order a small and you get like a small tanker.
I know it has even the smalls of an undertow.
Yeah,
you literally have to ask for the kid-sized drink.
Right, and that's why I only order unsweetened iced tea, because if I were to order a soda, good God.
Yeah, I prefer to just get a pack of cans and just have them with me, but that's not always practical.
Well, you shouldn't be drinking soda all the time anyway. That should be a treat. That goes with your vodka. Just as a treat, not all day, every day. Anyways.
I've been out non-alcoholic today.
No, you weren't. We had a whole bottle of sake.
Oh my God, you were right. It was so good, I forgot about it.
Yeehaw! Yeah. That's nice hot sake.
Sake and what's that Korean drink? Soju. Those
soju is evil.
Those are my go-tos.
Soju is the stuff they put in car batteries. That stuff is evil.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a T-shirt saying the soju experience that I got in Korea. Of course, it's a picture of Bill the cat from Bloom County.
Yes, that's exactly what soju does to you.
That's what soju does to me.
And then you stand up, it gets even worse. Now, my sister taught English in Korea for a while and came back with some authentic soju, and I do not recommend it.
I certainly do.
You
mix it with 7-Up or whatever.
Yeah, you mix it with a tanker of 7-Up, because I'm Irish and I can pack it away. You give me a bottle of Jameson, I'll drink all night long. Rum, brandy, vodka, but soju was like, dang. Yeah.
It's formaldehyde based, folks.
It's basically, you're embalming yourself.
Oh, yes, I certainly am. I'm going to go out and get embalmed tonight. No.
Yeah, seriously.
I do not recommend drinking excessively or in some cases at all.
At all,
If you are alcoholic, do not do that.
Right. Speaking of alcoholics, our TDSer of the week is actually an FBJer.
Oh, my God, this is hilarious.
FJBer. I said it backwards. An FJBer. His own wife. So, Hunter Biden is up on all kinds of charges that involve things like, his cocaine use and underage, prostitutes and all kinds of fun things. So, since we can't unleash old Joe long enough because he can't string 3 words together or stop tripping over his own feet, his wife is out campaigning for him. And lovely, lovely Jill, who still dresses like Madonna, even well into her 70s, is out there.
Like a virgin.
Yeah.
Hey.
Is out there in really big arenas. Like while Trump can fill entire stadiums with standing room only outside, Jill Biden goes to a high school. And while she's talking about her hubby and his diaper changes and his pudding cups, behind her are multiple students holding up signs that say things like, "We love Hunter High!" You can't make this up. So yeah, what are they, the Wolverines? Will forever be a meme. Pay no attention to my stepson, but we love Hunter High. He's much nicer then. Less likely to slap us around and snort Parmesan.
I mean, honestly, it is just stupid. And, of course, she didn't think about it, the name of the high school being Hunter High, so she's trying to defend her stepson and this.
Yeah.
Honestly, sometimes the biggest enemy of the Bidens is
themselves.
The Bidens.
Yeah, the Bidens,
Yeah.
Yep.
I also wanted to just point out, and our friend Chuck is going to talk about it as well, but there is a Democratic primary going on, and
Right.
This was hilarious. But there's an ad put out by a man who I, frankly, because of the press,
Well,
I had
and
not
because
even
they're
heard
technically not really having a primary,
Yeah.
they're completely ignoring it.
Yeah, but there's a Dean Phillips from Minnesota launched an ad campaign poking fun at the president's absence.
Yeah.
It has Bigfoot
It's
looking
hilarious.
for the rarest thing on earth, Hunter Biden. I mean,
Or
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah.
well done. We'll have the links in our our website, and Chuck talks about it a little bit, but the ad is classic. I do love humor when they can bring it in that way. And from Trump pretending that he's Biden turning into a Roomba every time he finishes a speech. And now people, it was really funny. It was Forbes. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, Trump goes on a cruel tirade about Biden's, inability to exit a stage. It's like, why are we using adjectives? If you're supposed to be reporting news, report the dang news. It wasn't cruel. Cruel is taking a almost 90-year-old man who doesn't know where he is and trying to pretend like he's the leader of the free nation. Cruel is prompting, propping up this guy who can barely put one foot in front of the other, can't say anything or stop sniffing children long enough to be taken seriously. Cruel is bringing us into now a total of 5 new wars because you had to have power by putting this absolute moron. Joe Biden was Obama's vice president because they were afraid that people would assassinate Obama because he was black. So they picked the stupidest, most corrupt, most asininely known for his entire career moron to ensure that even the most racist white supremacist psychopath wouldn't murder Obama because you'd be stuck with Joe. Okay? And now this is the guy that's supposedly president, but take that. And what does that say about Kamala? They had to find an even worse president, an even worse vice president, someone worse than Joe Biden, and by God, they managed.
Yep.
That cackling hen is... Biden is embarrassing. He's humiliating. I don't even like admitting that I'm American when I'm talking to other people online because of him. But Kamala, she's humiliating.
Kamala, my mouse, my house, come on.
She's degrading.
Kamala,
She has...
come on.
I just don't understand why she's even a thing. I'm just saying. Anyway, Chuck has more to say about her too. Anyways, I thought that was hilarious. Well, folks, we are at 38 minutes here, and we got some news of the weird and wonderful I think we can head on into. So let's take a moment to play that old sounder, and we'll come back with some fun, engaging, and good stories.
Counterculture Wise is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
Hey, Jim, remember when we went out and got stocking stuffers and you got me a bunch of chapstick that
lip
were
balm,
like
right.
lip balm, whatever.
Like
They were soda flavors. So
yeah,
I had
like
Coke, I had
Coca-Cola
root
and
beer,
Sprite
I had
and-
Sprite.
yeah.
And you liked kissing me because they were all the different
I
flavors.
still love kissing you either way.
Well, okay. I do appreciate that. What would you think about buffalo wings?
For lip balm or chapstick? I don't know how I would feel about that.
Well, apparently it's a thing. And not only is it a thing, but it's such a popular thing that...
Who would make such stuff?
Well, believe it or not, this was supposed to be an April Fool's joke from Hidden Valley Ranch and Burt's Bees.
Oh, wow.
I love Burt's Bees. I love their lip balm. I have several.
They make very good products.
Yeah. Well, this was supposed to be a joke, and they had this 4-pack, the Hidden Valley Ranch Dippers 4-pack, and it came out with buffalo sauce, crunchy celery, which goes really good with buffalo wings, fresh carrot, and Hidden Valley Ranch.
All of which
flavored,
go well with buffalo wings.
Yeah, flavored chapstick.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I'd want to eat this stuff.
Well, it does come out with giant disclaimers on it that says not for consumption.
Probably smart.
Which I think is hilarious because when my sister was 10 years younger than me, and my mom used to sell Avon, and they sold all these amazing flavored lip balms. And she would sneak into, not my mom, my sister, she would sneak into my bedroom and eat them. So there's a little part of me that wants to buy this and send it to her and circle many times the thing that says not for consumption. But yeah,
Would
they
she
sold it.
Remember that, though? Would she get the joke?
She didn't know. Probably not.
All right, then. Save yourself the money.
I know. It was only $12, though. Anyways, they sold out immediately.
Why does that not surprise me?
It doesn't surprise me at all. And so now it's a thing. They have to keep making it because they're in such high demand that people want Hidden Valley Ranch flavored lip balm. Well, now, bacon flavored I can kind of understand. I mean, we kind of go for the traditionals like strawberry, cherry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I kissed a girl and I liked it, but Hidden Valley Ranch. All right, let's do it. Okay.
It works for me.
Yeah, it probably would work knowing you. Yeah. So they say this goes out with other gag products which didn't catch on as well, such as Velveeta martinis. Talk about gag. Black. Doritos booze, which I would buy. You gave me some Doritos flavored vodka, especially ranch flavored Doritos of vodka. I am all in. What an amazing Bloody Mary that would make.
You're right.
Oh, yum. And KFC chicken Yule logs. I don't even know what.
That would do is make me want to devour chicken all day long. I
don't even want to know. Yeah, but those weren't actually made to be real products, and neither was this. But people loved it so much that they actually had to make it a product. And ever since April 1st of last year, they've had to continue to make these because they're in such high demand.
And it will, and then in a couple of years, they'll just nobody buys it anymore.
Maybe we'll see.
The joke will be.
I mean, who knows? Maybe there is somebody out there whose signature scent is Hidden Valley Ranch.
Well, there are worse scents
it's better
to
than
have.
Tuna, I guess.
I guess that's one of the. I mean, really, it's about the buffalo, not so much the ranch. The ranch is a counter. Never mind.
All right. Okay, this next one is adorable. It's like a Disney film.
I love Mises to pieces.
Aww.
Rodney Holbrook knew something was up when some of the things he constantly left scattered around would always show up in a box later. Being an avid wildlife photographer, he suspected something was up, so he set up a night vision camera on his workbench. That's when he found that, of all things, a mouse was really tidying up his things every night. Now, there's a video. If you go to the original website, there will be a link to the archived website.
All links are on Counterculture as a again.
The mouse can be seen going about the workbench and putting things into a box. Pegs, corks, nuts and bolts, even a screwdriver that's obviously difficult to carry. The mouse just tidies things and puts them in the box. 99 times out of 100, the mouse will tidy up throughout the night. It is incredible, really, that they put them all back in the box. I think it's possible they enjoy it. The 75-year-old...
Is it a mouse or is it multiple mouse?
I think it might be just saying them because the man doesn't know the gender of the mouse.
I'm looking at the video. It's a girl mouse.
It's a girl mouse. Okay.
Ain't no boys tightening up. Everybody knows that.
Anyway, the 75-year-old from Powys in Wales says that the tidying ritual had been going on for 2 months.
Aww.
It started with some food and then moved on to other things. At first, I noticed some food I was putting out for the birds was ending up in some old shoes I was storing in the shed, he said.
So cute!
But why is the mouse doing it? Mice are generally fairly clean animals. I've witnessed to that. They groom themselves and they often keep things tidy. Given enough space, they would typically set up a toilet area separate from a cleaner area.
That's totally true. I had a habit trail, really elaborate one, and they picked one box, and that's where they did their business.
Hey, that's easier for you to clean up that way. That's
Oh,
good.
yeah, way easier.
But that doesn't seem to be what is happening here. The Guardian asked Dr. Johnny Cole, who studies the neural underpinnings of mouse behavior at the Francis Crick Institute in London. Cole said this could be an unusual type of nest-building behavior, but this is also rather strange because mice typically nest with things that keep them warm. Metal things aren't really good for that.
Not so much.
And this definitely isn't your typical nest building. Instead, the tiny mouse could simply be indulging in its own curiosity. Mice are curious creatures, and we might have underestimated their determination to indulge in curiosity. Their curiosity is driven by their need to constantly explore their environment for food, shelter, and information about potential predators and mates. This exploration behavior is crucial for their survival in the wild. In the end, the mouse's actions in Rodney Holbrook's workshop may not fit neatly into our existing understanding of mouse behavior. This suggests a level of complexity and adaptability that should be intriguing to scientists and casual observers alike. Holbrook's discovery, captured through his night vision camera, has provided a unique glimpse into the potential for behavioral diversity in mice. Perhaps, like humans, mice engage in tasks that bring them satisfaction or fulfill a need beyond the purely practical.
Well, I need to find me one of them mice and have them just hang out in our house and clean it for us.
That'd be cool.
If it's making you happy, it's making me happy. All right, I'm going to give this a try. Now that the frogs are all gay, they're turning the pansies gay too. I don't want things that are turning my flowers gay. How was that?
Good. Better.
I mean, per chick, not bad. Better. Okay, well, no, seriously, pansies, not even joking. Flowers, I mean, we've talked about this before, and it's really, really sad that we're seeing a huge dip in bee populations. And a lot of times they don't even know why.
Right.
They're blaming everything from predators to climate change and yada yada, but they haven't really pinpointed the issue. Well, apparently some flowers are just giving up on pollinators, and they're evolving to not only pollinate themselves, but be less attractive to insects. So a recent study has found that the flowers of field pansies growing near Paris are 10% smaller and produce 20% less nectar than flowers growing in the same fields 20 to 30 years ago. They, of course, are also less frequently visited by insects, which stands to reason. Our study shows that pansies are evolving to give up on their pollinators. As one of the study's authors says, they are evolving towards self-pollination, where each plant reproduces with itself, which works in the short term but may well limit their capacity to adapt to future environmental changes. This is a big deal because if you're self-pollinating, it's basically incest in the plant world. Mm-hmm. You are going to just continue to create any abnormalities. Thank you. I could not think of the word. Abnormalities. There's way more syllables than I was willing to emphasize. You are going to diversify. You're not going to cross-pollinate literally. This is bad. This is really, really bad.
Yeah.
Plants produce nectar for instinct. Okay, I just washed my teeth and I can't do a thing with them. Plants produce nectar for insects, and in return, insects transport pollen between plants. This mutually beneficial relationship has formed over millions of years of coevolution, but pansies and pollinators may now be stuck in a vicious cycle. Plants are producing less nectar, and this means there will be less food available to insects, which will in turn accelerate the declines in those insects. This is not a good thing. The only thing I can think of is if we can figure out what's going on with the bees, we're going to have to synthesize nectar in order to spur the population, in order to spur the plants into... I mean,
I really
if we
hope
as
it doesn't
humans,
come to that.
Yeah, well, me too. Hopefully this is just, pansies in Paris, but
And that
you know what they say about the pansies in Paris. Okay.
Oui.
Our results show that the ancient interactions linking pansies to their pollinators are disappearing fast. We are surprised to find that these plants are evolving so quickly. That's another really scary thing, because evolution shouldn't take decades. It should take hundreds, if not thousands or millions of years.
Right.
This is happening in decades, so that's kind of scary. Insect declines have been reported by studies across Europe, which is probably because they're eating them. One study on German nature reserves found that from 1989 to 2016, the overall weight of insects caught in traps fell by 75%.
Ooh.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's a lot of things, actually. Did the weight of those caught in traps fall because there weren't as many insects, or because insects were smart enough not to go into the traps? I mean, there's a lot of mitigating factors that we have to consider. Our results show that the effect of pollinator declines are not easily reversible because plants have already started to change. That's terrifying. Conservation measures are therefore urgently needed to halt and reverse pollinator declines. The method used in the study is called resurrection ecology. Okay, so maybe they have a better idea than I did. It involved germinating ancestral pansy plants from seeds collected in the 1990s and 2000s, which were being stored in the National Botanical Conservatories. The team compared how 4 populations of field pansies had changed during this period. Other than changes to the flowers, they found no other changes between the populations, such as the leaf size or total size of the plant. I thought they said they were smaller. I could have sworn they said they were smaller. If flowers are not likely to attract insects, then a plant is wasting energy making them large and nectar-rich. Previous research has shown the percentage of field pansies relying on self-pollinations has increased by 25% over the past 20 years. That is a huge number in a small amount of time.
That's true. That's scary.
Really scary. This is a particularly exciting finding as it shows evolution happening in real time, which it shouldn't. It shouldn't. It should not happen in real time. The fact that these flowers are changing their strategy in response to decreasing pollinator abundance is quite startling. Hello. This research shows a plant undoing thousands of years of evolution in response to a phenomenon that has been around for only 50 years. That pretty much said everything I just said. Although wow, this picture. Make sure you go to counterculturewise.com so you can see this picture of a hummingbird in foxgloves. It's absolutely gorgeous. Whoever took this picture, it's stunning. Although most research has been done in Europe and North America, we know that pollinator declines are a global phenomenon. These results may just be the tip of the iceberg. Areas with far greater plant diversity will likely have many more examples of wild plants changing their pollination strategies in response to lack of pollinators. I do not like this. I do not like this at all. Similar processes can be seen in invasive populations that need to adapt new ecological niches. Populations of foxglove have evolved to be pollinated by bumblebees in Europe. However, 200 years ago, they were introduced to Costa Rica and Colombia, and they have since changed the shape of their flowers so that they can be pollinated by hummingbirds.
How about that?
Wow. Wow. Other research shows plants that are unable to self-pollinate go the other way, producing more pollen when pollinators are scarce. Because they cannot resort to other methods, they have to outcompete other plants to attract a shrinking number of pollinators. Nature is fascinating. This is fascinating. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a little bit scary. A little bit scary. So yeah, I don't like them putting stuff in the water that turns our frickin' pansies gay. All right, Jim. This one's all yours. We've actually reported this.
Presto!
We've actually reported on this before. I can't believe they have to keep announcing this. But
oh, well, it is what it is. Parks officials in Canada are urging... we're size 7.5. Parks officials in Canada are urging drivers not to stop on highways to let moose lick the salt off their cars.
Don't let the moose lick your cars, you idiots!
I'll say it again because it's just, I never thought I'd say this.
You idiots!
Parks officials in Canada are urging drivers not to stop on highways to let moose lick the salt off their cars, eh?
So I want to know, there's people like derpty. Oh, look, a moose. I think I'll let him lick my car. I mean, what?
Well, no, I don't think it's like that exactly. Parks Canada spokesperson Tracy McKay said allowing moose to lick road salt from cars causes them to lose their fear of roads and vehicles.
And you don't want that because moose will screw you up.
Unfortunately, this kind of puts moose at risk of being injured or killed if they get hit by a vehicle.
Not really. The moose will take out your vehicle. Have you seen the size of these things?
I have seen some of them in person, and
they are quite large.
They are gigantic. McKay said an average of nearly 4 moose are killed in the area of Alberta's Jasper National Park each year when they wander out onto major roads. The park posted electronic road signs in 2020 with the message, Do not let moose lick your car. McKay said officials have yet to find a long-term solution for keeping moose off the roads in winter. There's been a few projects in various places that have tried salt alternatives, but they tend to be more expensive or they don't work as well, or both, McKay said. If it's safe to keep going without running into the moose, then we would recommend people just try to slowly, carefully drive away. Just try not to let moose lick your car. And now here's something we hope you'll really like. What?
I'm going to hurt myself. All right, one more story, and then we'll let Chuck tell you the news and then take a quick break. You're going to like this one. This is cute.
Alrighty.
You have actually been to Japan, though, so you might need to help me with some of the pronunciations here.
Okay.
Yokosuka Kangagawa. 4 men received a certificate of gratitude from Kangagawa Prefectural Police for rescuing a man who jumped into the frigid winter ocean to save his dog. The rescue was successful thanks to the quick response of the people who happened to be at the scene, working together with the Japan Coast Guard, the fire department, and police to encourage the dog owner as the cold seawater sapped his strength. Company employee Yu Chiba, 29, Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force members Yugo Yabuta, 44, and Kenji Takera, 42, and Yokosuka City official Tatsuya Takayo, 59, I do apologize for however I butchered those, were thanked by police.
You're doing fine with that, by the way.
All very young, good-looking guys. According to the sources, including Tarura Police Station, a man in his 40s was walking his Chihuahua. Really? There's Chihuahuas in Japan?
There's Chihuahuas in America. Why not Japan?
Because we're right next to the Mexican border, and they send us terrible things like fentanyl and gangs and Chihuahuas. You don't expect them to be in Japan. Anyway.
So, don't you think that Japan had Yokerel Taco Bell?
No.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay.
I think Japan's better than that. We helped rebuild Japan. We come on. They have panties in a vending machine. Why would they have Chihuahuas anyway? So he's walking his Chihuahua in the prefectural city of Yokosuka on the evening of January 4th when the animal shot off and fell straight into the ocean. And then you say, bye-bye, little taco. Chiba, who was visiting the wharf on a day off, told the man to wait a moment, but he jumped into the sea. The man was able to retrieve the dog, but he could not get back up to the 4 to 5 meter high quay wall that was gradually being swept out to sea, still clutching his pup. Aww. Okay, you have to hand it to him, though. He likes his puppy. A man around... Oh, but what possessed the Chihuahua to jump in the ocean? He saw
What possesses moose to lick cars? I don't know.
Well, salt. That's
okay,
easy.
there you go.
A man around his 50s who was jogging on the wharf called out, "Someone's fallen into the ocean." Well, he didn't fall, he jumped. Yabuta, who had a day off and was visiting Takahara, immediately called the Coast Guard and the fire department. Good job. Takahara notified Takeo, who works at a waste disposal facility in Oaks. So these guys didn't even know each other. They're just like yelling at each other near the site and asked him to get a flotation device with a rope. Chiba and others tossed the flotation device to the dog owner, who had been carried about 15 meters out to sea, not too terrifying, and pulled him toward land. They also called out encouragements to the man, including "Don't give up," and "A ship is coming soon," as his face turned pale and he went quiet. Yeah, because that is some cold water.
Yeah, very cold.
About 20 minutes later, dog and owner were rescued by a Japan Coast Guard Yakuso office patrol boat, and the man was taken to a hospital in Yokohama. More than 20 people had gathered to rescue them. See, this makes you like Japan again. Chiba and Yabuta...
I never stopped liking Japan. Why would I...
Well, we kind of bombed the living Christ out of them, but,
That was years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Chiba and Yabuta sustained minor injuries, including their wrist from fence wires and pulling the rope. Oh, wow. Chiba said, "It didn't really strike me at the time, but now I'm glad we were able to save their lives." I love Japanese people, don't get me wrong. I have many Japanese friends, and I would, in a heartbeat, go to Japan, probably not leave. Yabuta and Takahara explained that they had trained many times, but that was their first actual rescue attempt. They added that they were just eager to save them and stayed calm and united. And folks, that is the absolute most important thing you can do, is stay calm. So it's really sweet that they got like a really nice certificate, and hopefully the Chihuahua, I'd like to know why the Chihuahua just decided, I'm just going to jump in the ocean and off I go. I don't know what that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are rounding the top of the hour. We have some bills to pay. Chuck has some news to tell you, and we will be right back.
On the flip side, yo. And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap! This is actually happening! Gall Around the World edition, January 22nd, 2024. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is that Ron DeSantis has suspended his presidential bid and endorsed President Donald Trump. Mainstream media is cheekily reporting that it is now a two-man race, even though Trump is the only Republican candidate left. Democratic primary candidate Dean Phillips made a splash with his Bigfoot commercial. The poor critter is shown roaming around New Hampshire trying to find the most elusive creature of all, Old Basement Joe. Since Hayden Biden can't be let off his leash for more than a couple of minutes at a time without telling a whopper, sniffing a kid, or falling on his the DNC mascot, he is not campaigning at all, as expected. While he makes fun of Trump for bypassing the debates, he hasn't shown up for one yet himself. Also in made-up creature news, ESPN has been forced to return over 30 Emmys given to some of its top stars after it was discovered that fake names were used in their Emmy entries, a practice it has been doing since 1997 because their on-air personalities, quote, are so important, and they have egos, end quote. Vice hyena Kamala Harris has done such a bang-up job as border czar that she's now the Biden campaign's poster child for abortion. If you didn't approve of abortion before, she is definitely the perfect specimen to convince you otherwise. Prosecutor Fanny's Fanny is about to be booted as it has come out that she cheated taxpayers out of their money to grossly overpay her lover to cheat on his wife. It turns out not only is he wholly unfit for the position he currently holds, but the two spent millions on lavish vacations together getting into other positions unfit for polite company. Fanny's actual crimes are far worse than her trumped-up Trump allegations. Iconic magazine Sports Illustrated has lost its publishing license and has announced that it will be laying off, quote, most, if not all of its staff, which this reporter is sure has nothing to do with the magazine putting obese women and men pretending to be women on the cover of their latest swimsuit issues. The tinfoil hat-wearing crowd will be happy to know that nearly everything they believed about the Ooga Booga bug was correct, and it's true that the powers that be hid it. The most recent admission from the CDC is that way back in May of 2021, they drafted a Health Alert Network warning of the link between mRNA jabs and myocarditis, but then chose not to disseminate it, sending out instead a clinical consideration urging doctors to jab everyone anyway. In Trudeau's great blackface north, where you can be jailed for honking your horn, using the wrong pronoun, or attending church, police are warning homeowners not to share their doorbell videos of porch pirates publicly committing crimes because it might violate the criminal's privacy. I swear, I'm not making this up, eh? If Australia's COVID concentration camps didn't convince you to write that country off right along with Canada, then having school children make loving Christmas cards for convicted pedophiles should. Seriously, this really happened, folks. Argentinian President Javier Milei will most likely not ever be invited back to the World Economic Forum. Unlike all the other attendees, Milei saved his country hundreds of thousands of dollars by traveling on a commercial flight, after which he gave an impassioned speech against the WEF's push for socialism, against energy, and against freedom, all of which are destroying the Western world. Klaus Schwab just about blew Metamucil out his nose laughing, as that has been his plan all along. Biden's proxy wars around the world are leading to some predictable bedfellows. In fact, thanks to the cabbage in chief's help, Russia is now the largest supplier of oil to China. Meanwhile, back in the Socialist Republic of America, since January of 2021, if someone sent you a Zelle payment with a note that included keywords like MAGA or Trump, or you bought a Bible online or in a bookstore, or you shopped at a Bass Pro Shop, you were added to the FBI watch list and your financial institution was instructed to monitor your purchases. This is real, folks. No, seriously. I am not making this up. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, this is actually happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.
In this digital society, making connections is quickly becoming a lost art form. Yet, if you are a small business owner, building your network is the only way you can get ahead. Can these skills be learned? You bet they can. Read Nose to Nose Networking, no-nonsense in-person networking tips from a master. Who's the master? Well, who better to teach networking and friend-building skills than a golden retriever? The author, Melanie Hope, takes the antics of Abigail and translates them into the human experience. Through Abby, you will learn how to set your intention, build a network, and get into and out of conversations with grace. Find it on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, in hard copy or on Kindle or Nook. Visit counterculturewise.com for direct links. I was living an ideal life with an amazing family, a good job, and lots of friends. I was also a peaceful patriot who loved my country. I woke up every day to be grateful to be an American. But then I realized my life was so good it was almost fictional. I mean, my life made so much sense that it stopped making sense, you know what I mean? Then a friend told me about libtardium.
Introducing libtardium, a treatment for severe rationality and excessive common sense. I'm generally a decent guy, and most people who know me really like me. But one day I realized I lacked passion in my life. Then my wife told me about libtardium, and let me tell you, the passion has returned with a vengeance, hasn't it, honey?
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Patriarchal dunderhead.
Libtardium controls the neurons that promote excessive reasoning while stimulating the ones that trigger emotions. One dose of libtardium is as effective as watching 16 hours of cable news.
I'm Senator Wishwash. I was a die-hard conservative until I decided that principles don't win elections. 1 week's treatment of libtardium was enough to smooth my edges, become more relatable to the press and the electorate, and it made me your senator. Libtardium changed my life, and it can change yours.
Excessive exposure to Libtardium can cause sweats, dizziness, foaming at the mouth, and severe loss of IQ. Patients have reported inability to control their temper, as well as excessive and loud use of the term "re." Use of Libtardium can trigger psychotic reactions to MAGA hats and Candace Owens. Avoid Libtardium at family gatherings, ball games, churches, coffee shops, the Lincoln Memorial, Walmart, NRA meetings, car dealerships, French restaurants, tourist buses, shopping malls, social media, movie theaters, gymnasiums, airports, mosques, Christian bakeries, plant nurseries, nursery schools, and nurses' stations. Please consult your doctor if the stupid lasts for more than 24 hours. Use of Libtardium is not advised on Chicago streets during polar vortexes. Ask your local Democratic Party office if Libtardium is right for you.
Do you feel trapped in your body, mind, or spirit? Are you one of countless Americans wanting to identify as someone or something else outside of your current identity? We can help. At Crap It All One Credit, we have helped thousands of people with their identities. We can take your old one and hand it over to hackers, leaving you free to be that unicorn or attack helicopter you've always known you were. Let Crap It All One's lack of security enable you with yours. We want to identify as your credit card of choice. Call us or visit our website today. Crap It All One, a division of Sucker Bank, LLC.
Terms and conditions apply. Extension of credit is not guaranteed, even though we send people thousands and thousands of ads in the mail implying that it is. Applying for credit will affect your credit score. Never mind that may affect stuff that we always print on the applications because it's not true. Just like Jeffrey Epstein hanging himself. Don't expect a high credit line or low APR just because you think you deserve it. We haven't stayed in business for decades by being stupid with our money. That's your thing. This offer extended only to dummies in the United States and its territories. Have a nice day.
Hello, my name is... what do you care? Anyway, my people have had years and years of persecution. We've complained about it ever since Moses brought us out of the wilderness. So what do you all do? You now pay absolutely no attention to us at all anymore. Women's March this, Black Lives that. What are we, chopped liver? It's time we stood up and started complaining again. We have developed the very weapon that will help us reclaim our rightful place of kvetching in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Mazel Tov cocktail. Handcrafted from the finest kosher beer bottles, filled with the tears of our ancestors that burn hotter than the Arab sun, and wicked by our own rendered garments, the Mazel Tov cocktail is guaranteed to splatter and spread millennia's worth of oppressed rage and guilt, so you'll know for certain you are doing God's wake. Use the best, forget the rest, the #1 bomb for civil unrest, made exclusively by the world's oppressed, Mazel Tov.
May cause itching, burning, stinging, sores, zits, hives, freckles, cancer, and Karen Collins. Not for use by plebs, noobs, cucks, simps, fascists, do-nothing weaklings, and especially Antifa, because they are all of those things. Most effective at night after curfew. Mazel Tov is not responsible for any breakages, slippage, mishandling, jail time, or insurance claims. Max, can you come help me with my pillow? It just doesn't feel cuddly enough.
Duty calls, but before I leave, I want to remind our dear listeners and viewers to visit our merch store. You can choose from a wide variety of apparel, accessories, and other goodies. Please keep us afloat. Please help keep Chuck around to report the crazy goings-on in Washington, wherever that is, and elsewhere. I swear, he is not making this up. By contributing today, you will also help keep Mumsy and Father on their anxiety meds. Hey! For these reasons and so many more, I beseech you to visit our merch store at counterculturewise.com.
Now see, that's why we can't have nice things.
This poor woman.
I know, God. A retired teacher has had her pension payments stopped 4 times because her pension provider repeatedly refuses to accept that she is not dead.
I wish they would do that for the president. Oh, wait, wrong country.
Anyway, Eileen McGrath, 85, was left without income over Christmas when teachers' pensions,
Well, that's just cruel.
which administers payments on behalf of the UK government, wrongly matched her with a deceased stranger. In
Yeah, that person's dead. You look like her.
In November, I had received 2 letters from Teachers Pension asking me euphemistically if I was dead, she said. I immediately called...
I want to read these letters. Dear contributor, we would like to know if you have shuffled off the mortal coil, if you've kicked the bucket, if you're reading this, perhaps you're not actually. Good God.
This is an ex-parrot. Anyway. God. Anyway, in November, I received 2 letters from Teachers Pensions asking me euphemistically if I was dead, she said. I immediately called to make it clear that I was very much alive. Nevertheless...
I'm not dead.
I'm not dead.
I feel like dancing.
I feel pretty.
You'll be dead soon enough.
Nevertheless, a week later, 2 more letters arrived asking the same thing, so I wrote back to reiterate that I still not died. 4 days before Christmas, McGrath discovered that her pension had not been paid.
If she lived in Canada, they just send her a kit.
Yeah.
Not dead yet. Here you go. Off you go now.
Despite a further call to teachers' pensions, the widow's pension payment she also receives from the scheme was also stopped. Both payments were eventually made on 2nd January after she complained.
Yeah, but Christmas. Come on, people.
McGrath said that she's been repeatedly asked to prove her existence since 2020 and faces losing her income each time.
I'd be like outside their office going, cha 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 cha. I'd be like topless, like, come on.
Make sure my wife gets her pension. During the second lockdown, she was staying...
Trust me, you don't want to see this.
During the second lockdown, she was staying at her son's house and missed letters checking her circumstances. She only discovered there was a problem when her pension was not paid. She had fallen victim to a vetting procedure that regularly checks pension beneficiaries against the death register to prevent ineligible payments.
At least they do that.
Yeah.
They don't do that here.
According to the department...
They check you against the death thing, and they're like, oh, are you dead? Here's a ballot. Vote Biden. And we'll pay you.
I'm falling. Never mind. Anyway, according to the Department of Education, which oversees teachers' pensions, death register entries may be matched to scheme members, even if personal details differ.
I like how they call it scheme, like it sounds bad.
The DFE told The Guardian that once a possible match has been identified, the beneficiary may be asked to confirm that they are not the same deceased stranger every 12 months, since the system, administered by Capita, whoever that is, does not log a disproved link. Letters sent to pensioners after a match state that a new process provides updates from the General Register Office on changes of personal circumstances and ask the recipient to get in touch. However, letters make no mention of a deadline or the fact that their payments will cease if they do not respond within 28 days.
Why can't they just pick up the phone and say, are you dead yet?
No, I'm not dead yet.
Okie dokie then.
A spokesperson said this was to avoid causing upset. Didn't work that way.
You're kind of going out of your way. Are you dead yet? I'm not dead. All right. Are you dead yet? I'm not dead. We're just trying to avoid upset at this point. Are you dead yet?
After I complained, my pension was reinstated, but there was no apology. The General Register Office...
We're really not sorry that you're not dead.
You're costing us money. Would you drop dead already?
Would you die already?
The General Register Office lists the full name and the year of birth of deceased people. I'm not dead yet. I'm really not. I play the tom-toms. It is virtually impossible that there are any other retired teachers with my name and
death
birthday
are greatly
who are
exaggerated.
dying year on year. She said the letters did not make clear that pensioners should get in touch if their circumstances had not changed. Do they really think that it will be more distressing to be warned that you might lose your pension if you don't reply within 28 days than to have payments stopped without notice, she said? This is Alice in Wonderland territory.
Are you dead yet?
Are you dead yet?
How about now? How about now?
According to Steve Webb, a partner at the Pension Consultants LCP, providers would be expected to filter inexact matches on the death register before contacting a beneficiary. How am I supposed to read this? And payments should never be suspended without specific warnings.
If you don't die by next week, we're going to be forced to pay you. So let us know if you're dead.
Anyway.
This poor woman. she's in her 80s. She looks better than Biden. Hashtag better than Biden. Okay. All right. So while TikTokers are doing this,
On purpose.
because apparently it's not a good thing if you don't mean to. This happened in Taiwan, which is a country. Screw you, China. At least 3 people were hospitalized after mistakenly eating colorful pods of liquid laundry detergent that were distributed as campaign freebies in Taiwan's presidential race. Where they get to vote for their leader. Unlike China. And, America. One of the victims said she thought the pods were candy. You would think after the first bite you'd be like, blech. Not so much. Why would you swallow at that point? Seriously, why would you swallow? The pods came in partially clear packaging with photos of Nationalist Party candidate Ho Yu-e and his running mate. Writing on the bag says, vote for number 3, the place on the ballot for the Nationalist ticket in the 3-way race, and that each pod can wash up to 8 kilograms of clothes. So when I look at a colorful piece of candy and say this can wash up to 8 kilograms of clothes, the first thing I think is yum, yum. The Nationalist campaign gave out about 460,000 pods. Hung Young Chang, head of the office in central Taiwan, apologized for the incident. You didn't do anything wrong, dude. These people are morons. And you know what? And if you're so stupid that you're willing and or able to eat laundry pods, you probably shouldn't be voting. Just saying.
You shouldn't be eating candy either.
Well, there's that. Maybe you've had a little bit too much candy. I'm just saying. We will also stress to our villagers through our grassroots organizations that their laundry balls. In the next wave of house-to-house visits, we will not distribute this kind of campaign material, Hung said in a video. We will also stress to our villagers through our grassroots organizations that they are laundry balls, not candies. My God, people! Those hospitalizations included an 80-year-old man and an 86-year-old woman who are too old to be eating candy anyway, who were released after having their stomachs
But
flushed.
they're a lot more likely to think it was candy because they grew up in powder and liquid.
That's true.
They didn't grow up in pods.
Yeah, they probably actually had to grate it off of the bar.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. They were released after having their stomachs flushed.
Well, that would suck.
It seems to me
Literally.
that swallowing soap would do that already.
Yeah, but not in a way that would be healthy. I don't know.
Yeah. And then they go on to tell you a little bit more about the party. But I'm looking at them, and they don't look like candy.
No, they don't.
But, yeah, if I'm like 80 or 90 years old and I'd never seen these things,
Look a little like taffies or something.
Maybe, but you'd think after the first bite you'd be like, pleh, and not swallow. That's what I don't understand. How do they swallow them? Because, ew.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not good.
Apparently, we shouldn't campaign with anything other than candy is what I'm learning here.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to have fun with this one. Oh, Chuck mentioned earlier that if you happen to frequent this establishment, you may or may not end up on a watch list. However, I think this particular person is definitely on the watch list.
Aye. A man crashed his car outside of bass. It would be bass because it's
It would be
fish.
bass because that's a fish, whereas bass is the instrument that you play.
Yes, it is.
So you are forgiven.
Thank you.
Yes. Now try it again.
Wrong! Dead again!
I was hoping you'd do that.
A man crashed his car outside a Bass Pro Shop in Alabama, stripped down to his birthday suit, and plunged into the giant aquarium inside the store. That would be something that would happen at the Las Vegas location.
You'd think, not Alabama.
Oh, well. By the way, if you ever...
Maybe the
it's
Florida.
It's a fun store. I like Bass Pro Shops.
Oh, yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Even if they do land you on the FBI watch list. But hey!
That's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault.
It's anyway. The ordeal happened Thursday night in front of shocked shoppers in the town just outside Birmingham. It's in Leeds. Leeds Police Chief Paul Irwin said, the 42-year-old Alabama man did a cannonball leap. I won't say it again. Alabama man did a cannonball leap into the aquarium and then stood under a waterfall. Don't go Never mind. Everything turns into a song right now. He left the water to yell at two officers, then dove back into the aquarium, police said. The man eventually climbed over the side of the aquarium and fell to the concrete floor below.
Ow! That sounds really painful.
Inagata DeVita, baby. Police then apprehended him, I would hope. The news site al.com reported.
I think it's A1.
No, it's Al like Alabama.
But it looks like a 1.
Okay, A1 dot the dang com. Who cares?
Okay, you're right.
Reported.
It's Alabama.
Derf. He faces several charges, including public lewdness, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. Yay! The man was in the water for long-term listeners would know what I'm going to say.
Mischievous mischief, it has to be.
The man, malicious mischief, I guess.
Malicious, that's the one.
We're looking for. The man was in the water for about 5 minutes before the officers arrived, Irwin said.
Wow.
Oh, scroll down.
Nothing about the drugs he was on, so okay then.
Nope.
All right, we're going to have an extended Florida man for very special reasons this evening, but let's start off with it doesn't belong in the Florida man segment because this guy's a total victim in this case.
This is definitely why we can't have nice things.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, Miss Hope.
The lovely gentleman, Joe Capo. He was on his way home from a day of fishing when he became a victim. Joe Capo of St. Augustine had his vehicle and his boat trailer stolen right in front of him, but that crime was not his only loss. Being the victim of a crime can be a traumatic situation, but Capo found out the hard way that the cost of a crime can go beyond the act of the theft. I make it to my boat and there's a little red flash go by, said Capo. He ran out from the east side, ran across and jumped in my truck, and I'm like, this is not happening to me. Around 8:30 p.m. on January 3rd, Capo's Ford Explorer and a boat trailer were stolen from the Villano boat ramp as he brought his boat in from a day of fishing. That is a bold criminal.
Mm-hmm.
He was going so fast when he came to the stop sign at May Street, he slid across the highway and people were locking up trying to miss him, said Capo. The next day, his boat trailer was found abandoned in an apartment complex in St. Augustine, and his SUV was found abandoned on an I-95 near Daytona. But that's when the bills started piling up. His SUV now has flat tires and a blown transmission. Right there, there's another couple $1,000 to get that fixed, said Capo. What's more, each piece of stolen property was kept as evidence before he could pick them up from different impound lots, including gas, a U-Haul to bring back the SUV, and impound fees. Why would he have to pay impound fees if it was his property that was stolen? Capo spent more than $1,000 just to get back his stolen property. That just seems a little extreme for someone who had their vehicle or something stolen from them, said Capo. I feel like I got robbed twice. Government ruins everything. According to a victim's rights guide that police gave Capo when he reported the theft, victims have the right to fully and timely restitution from each convicted offender for all losses because of criminal conduct. The problem is that the thief has not yet been caught. Oh, and the tiny little detail that even after they catch the guy, he never has any money, so you don't get a dime from him because I've faced this myself. I'm supposed to be the victim, said Capo, and now I'm paying to get my stuff back, and I just felt that was wrong. You should not be charged impound fees for your personal property that was stolen from you. This is ridiculous. The impound lot in Daytona said that they put a 5-day hold on Capo's vehicle while it was processed by police.
Capo said that he's grateful to the officers who found his stolen property, but added that he had to borrow money from a friend, thank God he has friends, to pay for the impound fees just to get back his stolen property. What a racket. Okay, do we have any proof that the cops aren't the one doing this? If they make that much money, honest to God, if they make that much money stealing crap, why is there not an incentive for them to do it?
Couldn't tell you.
Capo's friend started a GoFundMe page to help Capo recover some of the money that he spent to get back his stolen property. That website will be on ours, counterculturalwise.com. Below are some of the links to victim advocacy groups, including the Statewide Bureau, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we'll have those as well. So, yeah. Yeah.
Just nuts.
If you are a victim because your local police are too bad at their job to stop criminals from stealing vehicles, boats, trailers, whatever. These are big ticket items. You should not be in the hole a single frickin' penny. You should not have to pay impound fees because you are the victim. And like I said, what is the incentive for the cops to actually do their damn jobs if they can make a huge kickback to actually be the offenders, to steal the things?
There it is.
I mean, if you can charge the victim, why not victimize more people and make more money? That's all I'm saying.
All right. Well, now it's time.
In honor of the Florida man who, well, I guess they're both Florida men. Yeah, they're both Florida men. In honor of the Florida man who has stepped down and supported and endorsed the president, we have a special segment of Florida Man.
Ever had a day you felt so stupid, lacking a brain? Well, here's a guy who'll make you feel like a genius and maybe even sane.
All the world loves to laugh at losers as often as they can. Here comes another chance to chuckle. Here comes the Florida Man. A sinkhole opened up in Polk County Saturday, according to Polk County Fire Rescue. So this isn't so much as a Florida man as it is a Florida hole. Officials said the sinkhole opened at a home's front yard on Royal Crest Drive in Highland City. We got woken up with our neighbor, resident Kyle Austin said. Our neighbor woke us up around 8, told us there was a big hole in our front yard, went out and looked, and it's about a 60-foot drop down in our front yard.
Oi, there's a hole! Oh, wait, that would be
There's
less,
a hole
less Florida.
in my neighborhood. Anyway, according to PCFR's social media, the hole was about 15 feet wide and 60 feet deep as of 11:22 a.m. I am very nervous for having two kids that close to a sinkhole and like 30 feet from their room, Austin said. It's very odd and it's very unsettling to know there's a hole that far, 200 feet from your home, neighbor Ron Kelly said.
And how far down does it go, do they say?
It said 60 feet down.
Holy moly.
Yeah, 60 feet
60
deep.
feet? I mean, dude, that would kill somebody.
Yes, it could. The roadway is still open at this time as the officials say the sinkhole is not an immediate threat to drivers at this time.
This next story combines the two worst things you can possibly combine. Jerk and Spirit Airlines, because it doesn't get worse than Spirit Airlines, right? Of all the airlines he could have done this on. So I'm not sure if this guy is from Florida, but he's got the Florida man vibes, and he was on his way to Florida, so we went ahead and stuck him in here.
We'll just assume he was on his way home.
Yeah. A man on a flight from Louisville to Orlando was arrested after agents say he was disruptive on the flight, grabbing one flight attendant and asking her and another attendant if they wanted to join the
Mile High Club. A criminal complaint. We're already on Spirit, dude. How do you make it worse? A criminal complaint filed in federal court says James Finister,
who is quite sinister,
was on Spirit Airlines flight 690. Yeah, it was. It's late. Spirit Airlines flight 693 from Louisville, Kentucky to Orlando International Airport on Tuesday. The complaint said Finister, who was quite sinister, asked the lead flight attendant if she wanted to join the Mile High Club. Finister reportedly then grabbed a second female flight attendant, pulled her into his seat, and asked her the same question.
Okay, this is equivalent to going up to the cutie pie at the check cashing, like payday loan place, and
behind the bulletproof glass.
She's behind the glass for a reason, and they don't want to date your broke butt.
Yeah, exactly. You're already on a Spirit flight, dude. Ain't nobody gonna boink you. Trust me on this. Not gonna
boink you
happen.
right off the plane midair, maybe.
Maybe if it was going down, it was like, I'm a virgin. I don't want to die a virgin. Yeah, okay. Okay, but this is creepy. In addition to that, Finister also asked multiple questions about the plane's cockpit. Maybe just because it had the word cock in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to enter their cockpits.
Including questions relating to entering it, flight
Exactly.
attendant said. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that was about. When the plane landed, Orlando police officers spoke to Finister, who admitted his actions, according to the complaint. He also told police he had taken several shots of alcohol. You think? Before the flight to calm his nerves because he'd never flown before. So, folks, shots, Spirit, I mean... Yeah. Finister is facing federal charges of interfering with the performance of the duties of a flight crew member.
Oh, Lord.
Really?
Lord,
you couldn't make a Spirit airline flight worse. Okay. Your turn, my dear.
It had to happen. A Kissimmee man is expected to spend the next 6 years in prison after pledging support to ISIS. No, not to the Saturday morning character.
By the power of Grayskull.
Not the hottie with the amulet. No. According to court records released on Wednesday, count records show that a plea agreement was accepted in his case.
Wait, you got to read this guy's name though.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
It was
totally an American.
Seconds away.
Totally buying this.
Court records show that a plea agreement was accepted in his case, and Moad Mohammed Ben Kabu,
totally an American.
was found guilty on
Born
2 counts
here,
of lying to investigators.
Totally buying this.
As part of the agreement, a third count was dropped. As a result, Ben Kabu was sentenced to 6 years in prison with 3 years of supervised release.
Of course,
Special conditions of the supervised release are as follows: mental health treatment, submit to search, no contact with extremist or terrorist organization members, foreign terrorist material restriction, I don't know, and collection of DNA. Ben Kabu had expressed support for the terrorist organization and discussed joining the group in 2020, records show. According to the FBI, Ben Kabu pledged his allegiance to ISIS with liberty and justice for all in January 2020. Ben Kabu had spoken with others about traveling overseas to join ISIS and booked a plane ticket in August 2020 to do so.
Was it on Spirit Airlines?
Agents said. However...
Did he join the Mile High Club?
Yeah, I did it I got drunk before, sure. However, an affidavit shows Ben Kabu ultimately canceled the ticket. During an international terrorism investigation by the FBI in August 2022, Ben Kabu was interviewed by federal law enforcement about his support of ISIS, according to an indictment in January 2023. The indictment states Ben Kabu denied speaking with others about ISIS, planning to join the terrorist group and pledging his allegiance to ISIS. Officials with the Department of Justice...
Get him on a Spirit Airlines flight out of the United States. I'm okay with that one.
Yeah. Officials of the Department of Justice said Ben Kabu sent ISIS-sponsored propaganda videos to others, including videos that showed executions of American allies fighting against ISIS.
Oh.
In addition, he sent a picture of himself dressed as an ISIS fighter with a statement, "Hey, Crusaders! Hey, Jews! Will die within your rage!" I'm sorry.
It says sick, which is
Yeah.
supposed to mean that's exactly what he said. But I think in this case, they need to add the K. He's just sick.
Yeah.
We don't want you here. Leave.
Unfortunately, they probably don't want your loser butt either, so there's that. Okay.
All right, this guy. Yeah, this is how we're going to do it. Brevard. Gotta love Brevard. A man who was found asleep at a stop sign in Brevard County is facing multiple charges after deputies said they found codeine. I thought it was cocaine. Oh, no. Codeine, a Four Loko, and meth.
Meth. They didn't mean
Inside his car. Deputy was patrolling the Merritt Island area around 1:42 a.m. Saturday when he said he observed a black Nissan sitting stationary at a stop bar. Just boop, at a stop sign. The deputy. I think we need to change their names. They're no longer called deputies. They're called deputaries. I like that. It's much better. I'm going with it. The deputy walked up to the car and saw the man passed out behind the wheel with his right hand on the gear shift and a Four Loko in the cup holder because that's how we drive in Florida. God. The man reportedly stumbled. I mean, okay, Four Lokos only have slightly more alcohol than they have sugar. I mean, that is enough to mess you up.
Those will mess you up.
They will mess your butt. No,
some states ban it because
a Four Loko is something you drink when you're home alone and ain't going nowhere and somebody else has your car keys.
Exactly.
A man reportedly stumbled out of the car when asked to perform a field sobriety test. He blew a .00, all right, during a breathalyzer test, but was placed under arrest after failing the sobriety test. Okay, so his breath didn't say it. Your breath says no, but your body says yes. During the search of the car, deputies found a clear crystalline substance inside a glass pipe that reportedly tested positive for, guess what? Meth! Another glass bottle tested positive for codeine. Because, we don't have enough going on. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, possession of a drug paraphernalia, and driving while under the influence. So how does he blow a 0 when he's chugging Four Loko?
You have to have special body chemistry for that, I would think.
I guess so, but you can't blow a 0 for meth. I'm just saying. Dude, at least pull over. Don't just fall asleep at the stop sign, dude. Alrighty.
Every time I read something like this, it makes me want to eat a sandwich.
I know. Yeah.
Every time I do anything, every time
It
I
makes
breathe,
every time you, yeah.
Every time a bell rings, I want to eat a sandwich.
There we go. An irate Subway customer in Florida has been charged with battery after he allegedly hurled his sandwich at an employee over the way it was cut.
Why couldn't he be charged with sandwichery? It seems to me like you should only be charged with battery if you got hit by a battery. If you hit with a sandwich, it should be sandwichery.
I agree.
Yes. It's spelled S-A-M-M.
Sandwichery.
Sandwichery.
After he allegedly hurled a sandwich at an employee over the way it was cut, according to an arrest affidavit from the Martin County Sheriff's Office.
Was it zigzag? Was it sideways instead?
Well, we'll get to that in a moment.
All right. I'm confused.
Alberto de Barros was taken into 54, was taken into custody by police who were called to a disturbance.
50-year-olds are on a rampage, aren't we? That's what you get for skipping over Gen X, you bastards.
Oh, boy. Alberto de Barros, 54, was taken into custody by police who were called to a disturbance at a Subway restaurant in Stuart, Florida, just after 5 p.m. Tuesday, January 9th. The Subway worker told Martin County Sheriff's deputies that de Barros became upset with her after finding out that his sandwich was not separated, according to arrest records.
Wait, what?
She didn't slice it properly. It wasn't all the way done. They weren't separated.
So you just pull. You pull a little bit. You don't throw a perfectly good Subway sandwich when you could have it in your face.
Yeah, I remember when they had that little divot cut back in the day.
And it didn't go all the way through.
Yeah,
that was just the thing, and then you would just pull it.
Yeah, well, I mean, just I don't know. They slice it like normal subs now, but they used to kind of do a V cut in the bread back when I was younger. back before the automobile. The subway tow worker, anyway. The two had a brief verbal exchange, and DeBarros started to cause a disruptive scene, records stated. The employee then stated that she would no longer serve him, and that's when DeBarros made a phone call, the affidavit said.
She'd already served him, though. I mean, what more could she do at that point? Dude, I cut your sandwich. Get over it.
While he was still on the phone, DeBarros allegedly hurled the sandwich at the employee and hit her in her mid to lower body, according to the affidavit.
Oh, like you got hurt from that. It was a sandwich.
It's still...
There weren't bricks in the dang sandwich, for God's sake.
It's still not how civil people treat each
No,
other.
it's not, but come on,
As
battery.
DeBarros stormed out of the restaurant, the worker who was allegedly assaulted followed him outside and captured video evidence of his demeanor and his car's license plate.
She wasn't assaulted. She was a sandwiched.
Between the maybe he had salt sprinkled on it. I do.
Oh, that's true. You do.
You know.
Yeah.
So
you would have been assaulted sandwiched.
yes, I did. Wouldn't have been. Well, come on. It's 1,000,000
It is
dude.
1,000,000, yeah.
Come on,
We're running
dude.
into triple digits at this point.
When questioned by deputies, DeBarros admitted to being upset over his sandwich not being cut, but he said he believed he threw the sandwich at the counter instead of the worker. The affidavit started.
Who cares? It's a sandwich.
However, store surveillance footage also showed him taking the sandwich from the counter and hitting the worker with it.
Okay, now if he actually picked it up and wielded it as a sword and went bonk, 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 that's different.
DeBarros was arrested for burglary and...
What? Burglar?
No, I said it wrong.
Oh, okay.
DeBarros was arrested for battery and booked into Martin County Jail.
Seriously,
He
it
was
should have been
released
sandwichery.
Wednesday. All right, great. He was released Wednesday after posting a $1,000 bond and is scheduled to be arraigned on February 1st, according to records.
I was assaulted. No, you weren't. You were sandwiched. But it had salt on it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I won't let you know.
How many more of these do we have?
Well, this is a special segment in celebration of the Florida man who was conceited.
Great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this, the crab leg caper.
She loves crab legs.
I do love crab legs.
She goes to one of those buffets that has crab legs. And
that
they
is
go,
the
"Oh,
only
crap.
thing I can really do
Oh,
damage
crap,
on.
here she comes.
I'm good for one plate at a buffet, but if there's crab legs, I will do damage. A Florida man is accused of stealing over $400 worth of crab legs.
Jeez.
And 2 cans of cat food. Hey, he's looking out for his kitties.
But, okay, I was thinking he was
pounds.
at a restaurant or something. I guess not.
Nope. It's at a
Okay.
Winn-Dixie grocery store.
Oh, okay, Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
$400 worth of crab legs and 2 cans of cat food. You go, boy. You take care of those kitty cats. Deputies at the Volusia County Sheriff's Office responded to a shoplifting call early Friday morning at the Winn-Dixie in Deltona and made contact. I love how they say that. Made contact with 2 men and staff outside the store. They made contact. Wink, wink. According to an arrest affidavit, a cashier witnessed a man in a jacket leaving the store while concealing several bags of crab legs. Not easy to do.
No.
Yeah. He was followed by an older man who did not appear to be holding any merchandise, the cashier told deputies. The store manager followed the men outside and confronted them about the alleged theft. According to the affidavit, the men attempted to leave, but their vehicle wouldn't start. Aww. As the man holding the crab legs attempted to return them to the store manager, no, I didn't steal them. Here, look, I'm giving them back. He was advised that Winn-Dixie would pursue criminal charges.
So he said screw it and took the fish anyway, which is what I would do.
The crustacean. While questioning the man accused of taking the crab legs, later identified as 33-year-old Kurt Beck, that is a very white name, and he's a very white man, deputies said he stated he knew what he did was wrong. Tucking crab legs into your shirt is pretty, After questioning the other man, deputies learned that he did not steal any merchandise and was acting only as the driver for Beck due to Kurt's license being suspended. He needed a getaway driver for his crab leg heist. Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
we're going to head into the Winn-Dixie, all right? You stay in the car. No, I said stay in the car. Okay, fine. Just make sure that you're the one driving, because I'm going to come out. There's going to be legs sticking out of my shirt, all right? All right, okay. So what I need you to do is drive away from the scene. Okay, so he was arrested on charges of petite theft. Not just petty, but petite. Just a tiny, itty-bitty, little bit of theft. Just little itty-bitty theft. And violation of probation. Oh, car seats on probation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, for possession of a controlled substance. Are crab legs a controlled substance now?
No, the cat food.
Good one.
Thank you.
And was booked into... It was
Controlled by
Friskies.
cats around here.
It was Friskies, okay? You don't understand. All I gotta say is, dude is like pulling off this heist. He's got a getaway driver, but he still takes care of his kitty cats. You know, you gotta give him props.
Well, he won't be.
There's that. But you gotta, he tried. He had a getaway driver.
All right. A Florida man
Who else
was arrested after he was caught lurking in the neighborhood with underwear around his neck in the same area where bonsai trees were reportedly stolen 2 weeks ago.
No, you got to read that again.
A Florida man who else was arrested after he was caught lurking in a neighborhood with underwear around his neck in the same area where bonsai trees were around his neck. Anyway, in the same area where bonsai trees were reportedly stolen 2 weeks ago, according to officers.
So the underwear was around his neck, and his neck was where the bonsai tree. I'm totally confused right now.
Troy Dean Stewart, 35, was arrested and charged with 1 count of loitering and prowling after the incident that unfolded just before 10 p.m. on Thursday.
Would it have been loitering if he didn't have underwear around his neck? And please, why does the mugshot not have the underwear?
I know,
the underwear
that is so disappointing.
was very important to this entire case.
Very
that needed to be in the mugshot.
Yeah.
I think the underwear is every bit as guilty as the bonsai. And where's the bonsai? What happened to the bonsai?
Anyway, he was in the thing on the 2000 block of Everest Parkway in Cape Coral, police said in a news release. Officers responded to a call from a neighbor who said a prowler was in their backyard near the dock, and they were spotted on the property's surveillance cameras. The man was seen wearing a gray hoodie, black shorts, and a dark mask on his face as he hid behind a chair.
Where's the underwear?
I don't know, babe. Callers said the man came from a neighbor's backyard, deputies said. The man, identified as Stewart, was located in an empty lot on Everest Parkway, deputies said. He was lying on his stomach between bushes near the seawall. He was wearing the same outfit the caller described, except the mask on his face was actually revealed to be a dark navy pair of underwear around his neck. See, that's what happened with the underwear. That was the mask.
Oh, my God.
Stewart told officers he was wearing underwear around his neck to protect his face from the cold, adding that he was in the area to exercise. Exercise what,
I was
you dolt?
just jogging.
He said he liked the aesthetic of the area and wanted to avoid cars on the road. He also told officers he was confronted by 2 men and he ran away to hide from them. Officers spoke to the 2 men who confronted Stewart, who lived nearby. One of them said he saw a man walking through his backyard, shouted and approached him. He even removed his hood to see who he was. The other man escorted Stewart to the front yard, and that's when he ran away, according to officers. Another neighbor told officers that they reported the theft of 2 bonsai trees on January 6th. These trees are valued at $7,000.
Well, that is a bonsai insurrection if it happened on January 6th.
The suspect was seen on surveillance video on January 11th. That would make it a birthday bonsai. Walking toward additional bonsai plants at the same address, then fleeing from the area as if he was spooked.
So he was a bonsai stalker.
He was a bonsai stalker.
Why are there so many bonsai trees in this area?
I don't know. Your turn.
When officers went to Stewart's residence, they found several bonsai plants in the front yard.
Yep.
They didn't match the exact description of the stolen plants, though, because they were in different pots. Officers weren't able to look in the backyard as there was a tall fence.
Did I not finish the article?
No, sir, you did not. Stewart claimed to have no knowledge of the tree theft. I don't know how these little bitty trees got in my yard.
I don't know how in the name of the BVDs around my neck. How that happened. I have no idea.
The 35-year-old man from Cape Coral has since been has since been released from jail after posting a $150 bond. Really? You steal bonsais and wear underwear around your face and you get out on $150? Okay. He's expected to appear in court on the morning of January 30th. Poor little Tweez. Bring them home. Sad Tweez.
A jockey wearing jokester.
All right, if you're trafficking drugs in a stolen car, what do you think would probably be top of mind? I mean, I stole a car, and it's a nice car, like a high-end car, like somebody might actually miss it. And I'm trafficking an F-ton of drugs. Mm-hmm. My first thought would be, I should probably obey all highway rules so I don't get caught. Mm-hmm. Yeah. A man who allegedly took Florida Highway Patrol troopers on a chase through Kissimmee was arrested after officers said they found 15,000 fentanyl pills in the stolen Mercedes that he was driving. So not only do we steal a Mercedes, and not only do we have 15,000 fentanyl
I think
pills.
by the time you've stolen the Mercedes, your judgment's pretty shot.
Yeah. So let's just speed and call attraction to ourselves. Jonathan Nicola, 22, of Kissimmee, was arrested for felony fleeing and eluding among several drug charges after thousands of pills were found during a traffic stop. On Thursday, a trooper spotted Nicola unlawfully changing lanes while cutting off a marked police car. Idiot. It was a marked car, you moron. Oh my God.
Whee!
The tag for the Mercedes Nicola was driving was reportedly had a bogus temporary tag. Like, dude, okay. It's one thing if you cut off an unmarked car, but dude, this car was... okay, oh my God. He allegedly reached speeds of over 100 miles per hour, sideswiped another motorist, and drove the wrong way multiple times. Way to go, buddy. He eventually crashed the car before taken into custody. What do you bet this poor guy that owned the Mercedes had to pay for all of that, like our previous
our other
victim?
friend there? Probably, yeah.
All right, so here are the charges. Trafficking of fentanyl 4 grams or more, felony. Synthetic narcotic manufacturing, Schedule 1 or 2, felony. Possession of a controlled substance without a prescription, felony. Possession of drug equipment, paraphernalia used to manufacture, transport drugs, felony. Grand theft of a motor vehicle, a felony. Possession of a vehicle with altered numbers, a felony. Weapons offense used to display firearm during felony. It's starting to sound like, you know how you see your name over and over again, it starts to sound funny? Free, elude, police, aggravated fleeing with injury or damage, felony. Moving traffic violations, reckless driving with damage to person, property, felony. Misdemeanor.
Oh.
Misdemeanor. Mm-hmm.
Wow. The more I misdemeanor I get.
This is my favorite line of the entire story.
Okay.
According to troopers, Nicola is a, quote, habitual traffic offender.
Yeah. I think there's more. I think there's a couple things that might be more important in this, but okay. That works. Okay, so our next story does not need to go in full. It's just the headline, and this is from the Extreme Left magazine.
Yeah, we don't even need to
Jones.
read more about this one. Yeah.
Here's the headline: Florida man facing 91 criminal counts wins the Iowa caucuses. Woo! There you go. That was pretty funny.
No,
That's funny right
they
there.
are so far left, I can't even take them seriously. But
No, I
have to give them
like
props.
them back when I was a lefty, but
I have to give them props. That is a funny.
that is funny.
a Babylon Bee worthy headline. I appreciate that one.
So let's polish this Florida man off with a good Florida man story.
A good one. Yeah, let's do this.
Here on Counterculture Wise, we may rant, we may rave, but most of all, we go against the current culture because we believe, to the core of our beings, that humans are good and the world is an amazing and beautiful place. At the beginning of our show, we give you news of the weird and wonderful, but that is just the tip of the magnificent iceberg that is our world. We now present news of the wonderfuller.
Today's good news comes from Tucson, Arizona. In 2019, Frank Pompa received life-altering news discovering that he only had 10% kidney function. Commencing twice-weekly dialysis became part of his routine. We have a friend who's doing that.
Yeah, definitely.
So hard. So
I can't
hard.
imagine it myself. I would hate it.
I worked for DeVita for many years, and it's rough. His sister, Jolie Saunders, faced the disheartening realization that she wasn't a compatible match for kidney donation. It's actually really rare for women to match with men, and vice versa.
I didn't know that.
Even though it does happen. The Banner Living Kidney Donor Program intervened, offering a ray of hope by connecting Frank with Tracy Gonzalez in Illinois. In an unexpected twist, Tracy's husband, Tony, also required a kidney. Against all the odds, Jolie Saunders miraculously turned out to be a suitable match.
Wow.
The siblings and the couple engaged in a unique kidney exchange where each pair selflessly donated to the other.
That blows my mind.
That is so beautiful. Both families expressed gratitude for the invaluable gifts of freedom and health that resulted from their willingness to share a part of themselves. The donor at the end of the day doesn't benefit from anything. I
don't agree with that.
You know what I mean? But in my eyes, it's like the way Jolie, feels inside, it's probably priceless. What a beautiful, sweet, short, but absolutely beautiful story. These people have changed each other's lives permanently. All right, folks, we're going to leave it there. You have an amazing week, and God willing and the creek don't rise, we are going to see you next week. We're going to try for live. Don't hold your breath.
We're certainly not.
But stranger things have happened. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Counterculture Wise is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, counterculturewise.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, "Be a guest on our show."
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other. Be kind to animals. and be kind to yourself. See
See you next week.